What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down fresh out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and represent. Also go to freshoutseries.com, pick you up some merch, and split some wigs. I'm here with my man Dominic from DC, and we've been chopping it up. And he has an amazing story and a program he started in prison helping other inmates so that they can get their lives together, because he's changed his life in a direction that I think can impact a lot of people across the world. Dominic, we want to talk about a little bit about how you started your program in prison and what it entails and what you're currently doing with your program?
Okay. Well, I want to start with saying that I really started this journey in 2000. In 1999, you had a SIA named John Feeney. He came to my cell, and this was at the. I was in the hole for having heroin in my trash can. So he came, because I took the beef, and he said, "Man, why are you settling for this?" And I looked at him, and he walked away from my cell and said, "Don't settle for this shit." This was police. This is the police. You know, don't like police, you know what I mean? Especially at that time, you know what I mean? And I, you know, it hit me about 2 weeks later what he meant. What he meant was, man, you around here keeping peace, doing all this positive stuff so you can do this dirty stuff. You know, this was gonna keep you in prison. That's what he meant. And that's the last time, that's why 2000, I always like to say 2000, was my last vestige of criminal thinking. I haven't sold no drugs, I haven't extorted nobody. I haven't been no loan shark since 2000. That's a long time. And I'm proud of that. And what I did was, I wanted to use my leadership in a more positive way. So what I did was, at this time, I don't know if you remember the Zimmerman Bill. The Zimmerman Bill was the no frills law, whereas though like President Biden and them, President Biden was the one that signed off on it. But they took all the weights out the prisons, took all the programs out the prisons, mandatory minimums. The prisons became concrete.
Yeah.
Prior to that, just a little quick one, we was doing the mail prior to that. We know we used to do the mail before, before 84. The prisoners used to get the mail, sort it, and hand it out.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
That was before your time.
Wow.
Yeah. But
People don't know Biden also did the crime control bill.
yeah, and that Zimmerman bill decimated prisons. It was concrete, violence.
No hope.
So what I did was, I went on the compound. I went to all the organized crime guys. I went to let me back it up. I went to all the tech geeks, because you know in the feds you got lawyers, doctors, I went to all the tech geeks. I went to all the white collar criminals. I went to all of the ones that had professional degrees. I got them together, and I told them, I said, man, you know, like, y'all know what the Zimmerman bill has done to us. Now we run around here like savages. What I want to do, I want us to put together a structure for we can get out and stay out, and use this tool to get out. And some of y'all got them long sentences, man. This is a way you can get out. And because of the respect they have for me, they like, okay, you know, somebody such as myself coming like that, you know how that go, man. So then I went to all the gang leaders, Crips, Bloods, everybody. told him the same thing. I said, man, if you want to get out, you want to change this circumstance, let's put this vehicle together to better ourselves, to get out of prison, and stop killing each other. And believe it or not, everybody I didn't have to sell it. So what I did was, I went to the warden, broke it down to him, Warden Apple, you know what I mean? I got to give props to Big Warden Apple, because he was a visionary at that point. And I went to him and let him know what I wanted to do, and he looked at me and like, damn, why ain't I think of that? You know, so it was like an experiment, because I was the executive director, these are titles. I had a general manager, and I had like 8 different department heads. I had a communication director, community relations director. You know, his job was to scour the media, find people institutions that's consistent with us, that be willing to help us. Had a cognitive division, and I was serious. We had some of the best cognitive programs, because you had, at a minimum, to complete the programs, you had to take a minimum of 300 hours of cognitive training. And I think you know why. Okay, we had an entrepreneur department. Guess who ran that? My Jewish comrades. And they put that thing together, man. We had that entrepreneur department had everything in it. Everything in it. We had the international department. And this came about because Warden Apple pulled up on us one day. His favorite thing was threatening us. Man, you know, all these guys getting deported. They fearful around here, man. Y'all better come up with a program for them before I shut y'all down. That was his way of, motivating us, you know what I mean? So what we did was, we had a meeting, we talked about it. So we said, what can we do? So what we did was, if somebody from El Salvador, Eduardo Perez is one of the best examples. He's a young kid. He was a barber, he's my man. He was an MS-13. And I used to talk to him, like, kid, why are you destroying your life, man? Man, when I go home, man, they're gonna kill me. So I might well live like I can live now, because I guess when MS-13s go back to El Salvador, the police kills them.
Yeah, they're not playing.
Yeah. So I say, look, man, I kind of took that to heart, 'cause that kind of like hit me in a way, a kid got to go through that, even though I know he, what he was, but still, just the humanity in me, man. So what we did was, we researched El Salvador and seeing what skills they had in demand, see what skills that was needed. So computer operations was one of the ones. So we got with Eddie, look, man, use a barber. So we're gonna give you the business skills, be able to run your own barber shop, and we're gonna put you in the computer program. I mean, a long story short, that was one of our success stories. When Eddie went back to El Salvador, it happened when they pulled up on him. He showed them his documentations of the certificates and stuff, his self-improvement, and they ain't kill him.
He's an asset to society now.
Yeah, he's an asset.
Yeah.
So just giving you one of the other components, department is Adopt the Block. And this department really is really dead. This is the public safety component. And I want to give you a brief story about why this. My son was victim of gang violence in 2004. Oxon Hill, Fort Washington, they was beefing with each other. This in Fort Washington, Maryland. It was a 10-year gang war that couldn't nobody stop. So what I did was, I was talking to my son. I knew I had an opportunity when he was in the hospital. I knew if he had got out and did what he wanted to do, I know I would have lost him forever to the game, because you know how that game goes. Yeah. Once you start that, that just keeps going and going. So I managed to convince him to give me the name of the leader of the other crew. Believe it or not, Hank was more easy to sell than my son. You know what I mean? And so I did what I could do from prison. And then I turned it over to the Alliance of Concerned Men. Mr. Tyrone Parker, I got to give him his props on that one. And what happened was that became one of the infamous truces in America, because it's still in right now today. They had the ceremony in the Ebenezer Church. It was one of the biggest joyous occasions for the community, because you had two fearful communities coming together. And why did it happen? A concerned father, not a tough guy, but a concerned father. So what I wanted to prove was we could put a structure together for anybody that loved their kid and want to get their kid out their life.
Yeah.
So that's why Adopt the Block is, one, because we replicated that in Philly, New York, and Jersey. Okay, just giving you the of the inmate organization, how thorough it was. We had it was an inmate organization. We had to do quarterly reports, had to do annual reports. This is what you learn.
Yeah.
And this thing, I'm leaving certain things out of it. I can't explain everything, but I'm just giving the gist of how the range of it. And,
Okay.
Now, let me. An inmate organization such as that, such as the one that we built. What happens is that, say, it's the table. You got all the leaders around the table. Say DC and New York get to beefing. My homies jump some brothers from New York. All the leaders at the table. We look at each other. Man, your homie started that shit, man. And that's how we dealt with it. And what happened was that the incident reports went down. We built a college-like, we created a college-like atmosphere in prison. That was a war zone. We created a program, now people going out, not coming back. We created a program where me, a prisoner, writing a letter to the lawyer about what this person done. And this person getting released.
Yeah.
This the impact. Not only that, this inmate organization, was instrumental in stopping a lot of stuff in the streets. And a famous one was in DC. You had at that point people going up in halfway houses. I know you probably heard of that. And killing them and getting their ops in the halfway houses.
The house I was at in South City, they whacked somebody up in there when I was, like right before I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they find out, they go right up in there.
So what we did was, we went around the prison. This is stuff you do on the low, because we don't never write stuff like this down.
Yeah, of
this
course.
ain't got nothing to do with the police. This is us. You know what I'm saying? And we letting people know, man, look, if you got a beef, let us know, man, see what we can do. But if it was involved, your beef involved really killing somebody, or a family member, we ain't get involved in that.
Yeah.
We just gave you advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah.
I think you should go to Baltimore. I think you should go to New York. I think you should relocate
Yeah.
if you want to live a good life. And once you break stuff down to people like that, okay, yeah, you're right. You got a choice. Go into a blazing fire or take the path of least resistance.
That's right.
And believe it or not, most people would take the path of least resistance, especially if presented to them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you an idea, of the program, the inmate organization that has evolved.
Okay.
It's still a powerhouse, and that's pretty much what the documentary was about. That Vice done. Pretty powerful documentary.
We'll put the link in our description too, so the people out there can watch it.
Yeah, but I think they would have to. What happened was that Vice had it, and when they released it to YouTube, it got like 680,000 views in a short period of time. So they took it back off of YouTube, so you go to Vice to pay for it.
Okay.
So we got to send them the link, so they ain't got to pay for it.
Okay.
That's how powerful it is. You know, we got to send them the link if they want to. No, hold up. They can go. It's on my Facebook page. Like you put it on your site.
Okay.
They can go to your site and watch it. They go to my Facebook page and watch it. They can get it like that. If it's on like my Instagram or Facebook, that's the best way to do that.
Okay. We'll have all the links too. For you guys out there watching, if you look in the description, we'll have all the links to all his social media stuff. And Dominic, if people want to get a hold of you, how would they do that? What's the easiest way is as far as sending you a message or trying to contact you?
My Facebook, Dominic Henry, just type in Dominic Henry, Dominic, Dominic Chip Henry. It'll pop right up and you can contact me like that. My Instagram, I just started it.
Okay.
So it's DC Henry 1. They can go there.
Okay.
You know, and then I have, you know, like my business, Reentry Consultant Service, LLC.co. I can be reached at any one of them.
Okay. And we'll have all that stuff, you guys, in the description, man. You know, I really appreciate you sharing your story and coming all the way out here to California, man, to get down with us because, like I said, man, we need as many different voices as possible to change the narrative. We gotta do something different going forward. I mean, there's so many young people that need to hear this, and there's not enough, I feel, male leadership in the community. So, you know, you sharing is a big part of the change. And man, I know a lot of people are going to hear this and going to have a lot of questions for you.
I would like to close on what's wrong with the streets and what we have to do. There is no leadership in the street. That's what returning citizens, men like myself, yourself, we have to really come together in social media.
Yeah.
We have to come together in social media and to provide leadership to the streets. And that's what we're doing in Prince George's County right now. I've asked, you know, people from around the country to come to Prince George's County that have resources to participate in this blueprint. It's a four-pronged approach to public safety. We have Councilman Calvin Hawkins. He's councilman at large of Prince George's County. He's the one that's one of the main political figures behind it. And what we're gonna prove and what we already know, when we bring this return to citizen thing together right, when we bring the credible messages, and I say credible messages, I say that with respect. But men like you and I, they call us incredible messages because we defy belief in the things that we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when us incredible messages come together, we will be able to tackle one of the biggest beasts in America. And we're showing that right now. Because you have a lot of good programs all over America, but it's not connected.
Yeah.
So that's what this blueprint is in Prince George's County. Come to Prince George's County and let us finish this, because we're going to document the same way the documentary is documented. We got to do each phase. Those are receipts. Then we can take it national. Then we can send it to St. Louis. This is what we've done. This is how you do it. Let's do that first. And that's what, you know, anybody listening, please join. Because that's what this is all about. We have to provide leadership to the streets.
That's right. There you have it. Big Herc 916, getting down with Dominic, fresh out.
You tired of smelling like stanky butt, funky armpits? Wash your ass. Go to FreshOutSeries.com and pick you up a bar of soap